Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. Yes, this is your girl Kwamia, but for those that do not know how to pronounce my name, you could call me Q, Kwa, or either Queen. I am your host from Pillow Talk with the T podcast. Tonight is going to be another amazing good one that we're about to put into the books. Everyone join and come in. And tonight I have a great, amazing collaboration with the wonderful and amazing Stephanie Ann Webb, from the host from Step Up Podcast. We are talking toxic environments. So I want you guys to put your comments, put your questions, engage, participate. And as I always say, that this is more of your platform as it is mine. And listen, just come in and come through. So I see that my guest or my collaboration is in the building. So let me be able to get her in here, because we are doing it tonight on this amazing, beautiful, nice weathery of Friday. So, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday evening. And again, tonight's show is called Toxic Environments. Just request, Stephanie, if you can. I sent you an invite. And so tonight's show is Toxic Environments with my collaboration, Stephanie Ann Webb from the Step Up Podcast. And let's see if she's in. Yes. Tonight is gonna be a good another one. Yes. Okay, so she must have to go out and come back in. But again, and everyone that comes in, make sure you guys share this live for those that you feel like that needs to hear this, for those that you feel like should hear this, and for those that basically had in the back of your mind and you never say it to your friend or family, like, yeah, you need to hear this. So, but definitely. So send a request, Stephanie, if you can. Let's see. And of course, tonight, in regards of us talking about toxic environments. Hi!
I've got my phone out. I don't know how to do it on the computer.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Just see if you adjusting your phone?
Yeah, sorry. I usually do it through.
Now I can't hear you. Oh, no. Hey, you guys.
On an Instagram Live before.
Oh, really? This is the first time. Oh.
Yeah, I usually do, sorry, because I have my little setup and I usually do Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Here. On my, there. No, it's not gonna work. I don't know. Anyways. I was not prepared to use my phone. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How's it going?
I never really. I'm good. It's good. I never really did the live on like the laptop, like trying to come into a live on the laptop. Well, I did. I went on other people's lives on the laptop, but to come in as a guest on the live, I never done that. So that's something
and I've never done phone.
Capable.
So there you go. We're learning something new today.
Gosh, that's perfect. Perfect. Beautiful. So how you doing on this amazing Friday?
I'm great. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I just want to make sure we're not lagging or a couple of seconds behind. Am I lagging a little bit?
not for me. Am I lagging?
Oh, yeah, a
Oh, I
little
think I
bit,
might be.
but you know what? We pros.
Oh.
Yeah, we pros. We can do this. So, in tonight's topic is called the toxic environments. And of course, when I seen that you sent this to me when we was messaging each other, I was like, oh yes, let's tap on this for sure. So I definitely went deep in some research to find out about, some toxic environments. Because, sometimes we throw these names around, we say these things, and we could be living in this situation, never know, and we actually living in a toxic environment ourselves. So, of course, I digged up the what is a toxic environment. So it states that a toxic environment is any place or any behavior that causes harm to your health, happiness, and well-being. If you are around people who make you feel small, insecure, or bad about yourself, you might be in a toxic environment. So definitely, and I believe that there's many people that been in the situations, we've probably been in the situations before.
Yeah.
So have you ever been in a toxic environment?
Yes. And you know what's funny is there's so many of these kind of situations, and you don't really realize how many there could be until you understand what toxic environment is. And
Mhm.
then you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, I went through that with so and so and so and so and so and so. Right? I think we all have been through those, even if we don't really believe it. Because I remember telling people, well, I was never abused, I never had like a bad situation. But then as I started unraveling some of my family stuff and relationships, you're like, oh my goodness, there were things in there that were toxic,
Yeah.
right? And so it's very, I think it can be hard to understand it until you really start to get it.
Exactly.
Right? It can be hard to explain to people.
Exactly. It is because again, it's a lot of situations I believe that we all experience to the fact and to also the point you don't know that you're in it until you get out of it and you start analyzing, start thinking back about different situations, scenarios, and having that replay in your head, and you like,
Yeah.
oh damn, I was in a toxic relationship. So in regards to that, and you be like, how? And sometimes you never know when you get into these things until, and you know how you be that, you say, everyone say, I would never be that one. And it's
Yeah.
like, some people, you can't say that because you never know what a situation may put you into. So but yeah, so definitely in regards to that. So in regards to also further in toxic, they say what makes a toxic environment. So they also say a toxic environment is either could be a work environment, a home environment, relationships, anything that's within dysfunction or drama reign. And there go that word drama. So in regards to that, I could definitely say that I've been in a work toxic environment, which I knew I was headstrong, knew I had the question second guess because you could just tell the energy of how everything was feeling and the energy of the area. Like, you know how you coming to work, you feeling good, you probably don't really want to go, but you going. And
All the time.
exactly. And then when you get there, you put on a brave face, but when you get and you walk into that environment, you were like, ugh. So you feel it already, especially when you got those that surround you that basically that's negative Nancy's and negative Billy's all around. So and you be like, oh Jesus, just take the whole car, not the wheel. Jesus, take the whole car, guide me through this day. All I want to do is just clock in, clock out, and get home. So
Yeah.
and have you ever experienced those days before at work or going to work?
I feel like my whole life has been those jobs. I yeah, I worked into the corporate world. So basically that is it. You're stressed out all the time. You just want to quit every single day. They don't care about you, right? And my last job, I was there for 7 years. I worked at a call center, and it was just the most stressful thing. I would go home crying almost every day. I just couldn't handle it. I'm also like an introvert, highly sensitive person. So being on the phone for 8 hours, and having people yell at you all the time, it was just not a very good environment. Now, I love my coworkers. Coworkers were the best. Some managers were really awesome, but some were like micromanagers, and so they just made it worse, right? And then when you try to say something, like, you know how the higher ups, they'll make decisions, and they're like, oh, we think we should do this, and we're the ones doing the jobs. We're like, literally, no, that won't work. Trust us. They do not. They don't listen. And then it's just very, I don't know, it's a terrible environment because they don't understand, and they're making all the money. You're really not making that much. You're the one getting yelled at all the time. I think that's a lot of customer service. That's the corporate world, right? It's just a lot of BS. But I mean, I can't say it was like the worst environment. There are definitely way more toxic environments. I've just never had a job I really liked. Or felt passionate about, or where they actually, you were doing something where you felt you made a difference.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And I think we all had those jobs before. But they also say that the signs also of a workplace that's toxic. They say, here are 10 signs that your work environment or workplace might be toxic. So they say your input isn't valued, gossip and rumors, bullying, unfair policies and unequal enforcement, narcissistic leadership, communication issues, lack of transparency, and I hate that, lack of work life, and low morale. And I feel like I experienced some of those. I really did. But see, I was the one where even in my personal life, in my real life, I'm not going to just let nothing fly. I'm not going to let shit fly. I'm going to say something. Because I've places and jobs where I say the ass kissers. And I'm like, so this is what we do? So we going to sit here and kiss the boss ass because you think you're going to get a promotion? Like, I just never been that one. And I remember one time working for, of course, a government job, and not gonna say which one. So, and I moved in Texas, and I just seen, because you never know what a job really is until you actually work in the background and you actually been in there, because you think everything is so nice and dandy in the front scene. But when you get in a place and you get the background of it, you be like, woo. So when I seen all the background craziness. And I was like, why do y'all make this job seem like it's all glamorous and gold? Like, no. But it's just the fact, I've seen a lot of ass kissing. I see a lot of booty kissing. I've seen a lot of, dick riding. I've seen a lot of different ones. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to be that girl. I'm not like, and I was just telling them, where I'm from, we don't do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, but if anybody definitely is in some type of toxic relationship, those are the signs to know that you are. But they also give us ways that you could survive a toxic work environment as well. So establish boundaries, create a positive workspace. Don't take negative home with you. Yes, please do not take it home. Because I'm telling you, you will have it all on you if you try to take that home. And what I normally used to do before COVID, when I was working in the office, it's like I end up having I sat in a car to reset myself before I drove off out of the parking lot, because I wanted to make sure that work and everything was going to stay exactly right there. So, But they also say seek social support, avoid drama, take action, stay true to yourself, and look for the good. Yeah, you can, but it all depends on who the people you're around and who you're around with.
Yeah. You know what? I actually spoke to somebody recently, a life coach, and she said, because I get stressed. Sometimes I get worried about the job. Like I wake up, or even the night before, I'm like, oh, I didn't do this, so I got to do that. Not that that's a toxic environment, but you know, you get kind of stressed about your job. And she said, envision, because for me, I love beautiful sunsets on the beach. And she's like, before you head into work, instead of envisioning all the work that you have to do,
Yeah.
envision that. How do you feel? And I said, I feel peaceful. And so I thought that was really great because, yeah, if you're going into something, and I was like this with most of my jobs, I'd go in very anxious and like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm so stressed already. And I haven't even started the work day.
Wow. Yeah, so that's definitely a good coping mechanism of just basically, preparing yourself. Because I know it could be very overwhelming. Life could definitely be overwhelming for sure.
Yeah.
And let's move into basically the toxic families. How to recognize if you in a toxic family.
Oh my gosh.
So, so they say, if you were expected, you could, okay, let me see. Say family members that take a different roles from time to time in order to help each other. You were harshly criticized. You didn't meet their needs. You always feel like you was, picked on, the target, just in regards of this following signs suggested that you have experience of toxic environment family. I can't say if my family is toxic. I can say they definitely crazy at times, but I won't sit there and say they toxic. But I have experienced other friends or schoolmates when I went to go visit their house, for a holiday or whatever. Because you know how sometimes when your college dorm mate or roommate, for some reason, you go to their house and it's like they want you to see their family so put together, but that be that one day you come over and you visit and it's like uncle coming in drunk, um mom mad,
Mm.
dad, like it's just like not all together. And of course they want you to think like there's nothing going on. And it's like even with like TV shows you'll see and you'll be like, oh my God, why had to be this day that I bring somebody over, everybody start acting crazy.
Yeah. Well, my family acts crazy whether people are there or not.
For sure, mine do too.
Actually, it's funny. I'll kind of explain or tell people about like my dad, for instance, and then
Mhm.
when they meet him, they're like, "Oh my word, you weren't kidding." I'm like, "No, I was telling you," because he gets very excited about like passionate about what he's talking about, which is
Mhm.
usually religion and politics.
Okay.
So that's fun. Um, and so he gets very excitable and like he has to have you agree with him. So my friends are just like, oh my word, okay. I said, just smile and nod, just smile and nod.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And then they also basically say, how do you fix a home toxic environment? Normally they say by doing so it's basically, and see, some of these I agree with, some of these I don't agree with. Because for instance, they say that 7 ways to survive when you're stuck in a home with a toxic person. Basically remove yourself, give yourself physical space, create an emotional safe place, occupy your mind, de-escalate, be a rock. I don't know about that. Be a rock. I don't know about that. Like, so I
Mhm.
supposed to sit here and pretend like you're not there and I'm supposed to just stay still. I feel like that's a part of basically what's that saying? Walking on eggshells. And it's like, why we have to do that? So, and they say stay in touch with your support system and know your rights and be safe. And I feel like my thing is, if anyone is in a toxic home or a toxic environment, I just say honestly, just remove yourself from it. I don't agree
Mhm.
with these 8 ways, because or these 7 ways, because I feel like if someone is interrupting your peace, if someone is sitting there disturbing your comfort and everything else and disturbing your energy, I feel like you either need to remove yourself out of that space and make sure that it's clear and clean. You shouldn't have to just be a rock, as they say, to act like the situation is not happening. Along with the fact is, if that's your spot and you tell a person, hey, time is up, I need for you to leave. Because this is what I don't like when people do. I don't like when people, especially over here in America, I'm not sure if they do that in Canada, where is people allow people to stay after their expiration date.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Canada, we're too polite, you know.
Mm.
Like,
Wow.
well, not everybody. I mean, I've had friends say, "I thought everyone in Canada was nice." I'm like, no, but I think we tend to be more like maybe passive aggressive, or you got to say things in a roundabout way without being forward because
Mm-hmm.
you want to appear polite. I think
Yeah.
that's a North American thing, though. Like, it's just kind of our culture, right?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So, yeah. Which, and then if you say something, if you're actually, I used to have a hard time with this. I'm like, well, if I just say it outright, people will be mad at me because you come across bitchy, especially
Mm-hmm.
as a woman, right? You're an angry, bitchy woman. Okay.
Exactly, which I don't understand why we have to be such angry, bitchy women when even if we even share any type of emotion, it's like already we are emotional creatures. But when we express ourselves, we got to come off as an angry, bitchy woman. Here she go. She being dramatic. Here she go. And it's like, it's not even about that because now it makes us feel like as women, we cannot really express too much emotion. It's like we have to be, I won't say we got to be like, kind of like, should I not, like guarded on our feelings or our emotions. And it's like with me, I'm not doing that because I feel like if I'm the type of person where I can't really express myself, and this like even one of my sisters that just came in from Grown Ass Folk podcast, she's the same way too, where if we don't express ourselves or get out what we need to get out, it's like keeping negative energy and toxin inside our body that needs to be released and we're not releasing it. And I can't keep that in. So I'm going to express myself, tell you how I feel, tell you how I like it, how I don't like it. I'm going to tell you it all. Like I'm not sitting here
Yeah.
not telling you because then I feel like with me, it's only going to build up to anger. And I'm going to end up exploding. And if I explode, it is not going to be a pretty sight. So
Well, and growing up, I mean, we were always told that women are irrational, emotional creatures. Men are the rational ones, even though,
exactly.
um, and yeah, it's like, oh, well, you're just on your period or something. I mean, what's up with that? We can't be angry at something. It has to be you're on your period. Like, what?
But it seems like a lot of men is on their periods. How about that?
Yeah. What is it called? Because there's a thing about that. I've heard like men get their own kind of period type of month thing of the month. I don't really know.
They,
Eh.
they but they're very so much in denial about it. They don't believe in that. They really don't. Just like how we have the menopause, they have their life crisis. That's their menopause and stuff like that. But when you tell them those things, they be like, "No, what you talking about?" They don't want to hear that at all. It's like you
Yeah.
sit there and took the lollipop from the baby, and the baby having a temper tantrum. Like don't tell them about themselves. But then they also say, here's a few helpful tips on how to survive a toxic home environment. So they say, normally give yourself time to mourn. We all want a family that's supportive and loving and kind. However, sometimes that's not what we end up receiving. Set limits and boundaries. Make toxic family members aware in advance of what toxic may be to you, and not to discuss certain things. And that's the thing. We have to be able to actually, let's go back to the fact of what I say is, I always say this on Pillow Talk with the team. we have to teach people how to treat us.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to show them how to treat us. If something ends up, you feel like you're in a toxic environment and somebody creating a toxic space, especially with a family, friend, or a loved one, you should be able to let them know in advance and to have them be aware of the fact of like, listen, this is not right for me. I don't feel good in this space or whatever. Or even if something they discussing and having a conversation that may could be a trigger point for you or something that set you off or whatever the case may be, you should be able to express that and communicate with them. But they also work on your self-esteem, get what you need from others, and separation and individual. Oh my God, yes, separation and individual. I'll listen. If I gotta separate myself from you, I will.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
happening.
sorry, I just gotta say hi to JR. He's on.
Howdy.
I was always told that thing too, like you allow people to treat you how you want to be treated. But when you don't understand it, like I was always very shy and insecure, and I was looking for that, for other people to validate me. And so I didn't know how to have that confidence. And I think until you get it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Right? You don't understand, because people would say, you need more confidence, Steph. And I'm like, I know. How do I get it? So then, yeah, I would allow people to walk all over me. I had no boundaries because I didn't really know. And then when I started to have boundaries, I was told I was, because I was learning. I think sometimes you get a little bit angry.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that balance of having grace with people, finding your boundaries, not being angry. And so I didn't know what to do, because I was like, well, people are angry when I set boundaries, but sometimes they will be angry whether you do it in a right way or not, right? They're just mad because they want to use you. It's a very tricky thing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I had people walk all over me all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Boundaries will bring out the ugly in people. Yes.
But see, that's easy. But how? But well, why? 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 Why
Because they
would
want you to do what they want you to do.
so?
Right? I mean, I have people who, I don't know, this is a stupid example, but when I was first learning about boundaries, I had this old friend, and she was always wanting me to hang out and do whatever she wanted. So she got a new place, and she's like, let's go furniture shopping. And I was like, meh, I don't feel like it. Like, I'm an introvert, so after a long day of work, I don't want to grow. And then she's like, oh, come on, you need to help me find furniture. And I'm like, what? Why is that's not fun for me? And she was angry with me because she wanted a buddy to go furniture shopping for her.
Wow.
And that's when I started realizing, wait, I don't want to do that. That's okay for me to say no, right? But you feel that from other people who are like kind of shaming you because they want you to go with them.
Yeah,
It's like,
and
no.
it's crazy that you said that she started throwing a fit because Grown Ass Folk podcast said because they throw temper tantrums. You're not
Yes.
3 years old. We're not about to do. If I don't want to go furniture shopping with you, I don't have to go. Go by yourself. You know how many times I went places that I wanted a friend or a sister, a cousin to come with me, and they said they couldn't, and I'm like, all right, cool. Another day by myself, to be able to be with myself, just to go shopping by myself. It's been mad time. And you know what's kind of weird, that I see other people when I do go shopping and stuff, especially if like home shopping or decor or either just clothes shopping, and I'm in the place by myself, but I'm just taking my time, enjoying my moment alone, and being cool with it. It's like
Yeah.
other people looking at me because they're looking like, oh, she by herself. Like if I'm the weird one. Why I gotta look weird because I'm by myself? Because you with your girlfriend or your sister or your sister-in-law, whoever, a mom. But because I don't have an extra body next to me, they looking at me like, okay. Like
Oh,
I really just don't. But my thing is, I don't understand why anyone would catch a fit, because she said boundaries are a leading cause of attempted gaslighting. Listen, anybody that knows me knows I got boundaries. Anybody that knows me knows that I have triggers. Anyone that knows me knows that you're not going to cross a line, you're not going to disrespect, and I will quickly have no problem putting you on the block delete.
I believe it.
All. So knowing the fact that if I tell you that there's boundaries and there's ways of you going to I have structure for you to respect me, as well as I'm gonna use my own structure map to make sure I respect you and our friendship, relationship, sistership, whatever it is we've related, how related or we are connected anyway. That's how we're gonna keep the respect aligned across you. Because one thing what I do, family or no family, I treat people the same way as I want them to treat me. If I wanted you to text me that day, I'm texting your ass. If I wanted you to call me that day, I'm calling you. Like, so it's like you giving out the same stuff that you want to be given to you. But for boundaries, for me to sit there and have me boundaries and have you cause a temper tantrum, nah, that's crazy. I don't even think I even want to be your friend if you ain't got boundaries. Because that lets me know that you allow people to just come in, do whatever, and that to me is a scary territory, because that lets me know, as your friend, as your sister or whatever, that lets me know that there's going to be issues and problems with you that I probably have to hear all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Oh, yeah.
on hearing this all the time.
Well, you know, it's funny because I used to be like, why do I attract certain kind of people? Why do I always get like these needy, annoying people? Why am I always with the negative people? And it wasn't until I realized I was attracting them because I was one of them. And I didn't have, I didn't have that growth. And so once I started understanding, learning more, learning about personal development and growing, I was like, and it's true, right? Kind of, they talk about the law of attraction. Then you start to find a new group of people. Mm-hmm. And I've actually said to friends, actually, Wesley, hey, Wesley used to work with me, so he knows what I was like. So I've said to friends from high school, I'm like, how did you stand me? Sometimes I don't know. Because there were times, especially when I was in really bad places, I was constantly complaining. I was very angry. I was miserable. I mean, I still kind of I'm still laughing and goofing off, but my attitude, right? And so, but when you start to be different, then you attract those kind of people. So you're right. I would not want to be with people who have really low boundaries and they're always crossing them and then they get angry. That's not fun.
Nope.
I keep those people at arm's length, and now I'm like, I might be nice, like I'll be nice to you, but we are not going to be friends, right?
Exactly.
Because you're going to drive me crazy, and I'm going to get angry and freak out at you.
And so basically, with you, Stephanie, you was the old version of you was the toxic friend.
You know what? I've thought about that. I'm like, because there's people I'll complain about, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, sorry. Can I swear? I'll be like, uh-oh, I was that person. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, actually in my early 20s, I lost friends, and I was thinking, what's wrong? Why am I losing friends? And I realized, oh my word, it's me. Because if you're, what's that terminology? Like you're the, I don't know. I can't think of words right now. But you're the thing.
Oh, okay. It's not coming to me, but I think I know.
The common denominator. Yeah. Like if all this thing's happening, it's probably you, right?
Exactly.
But thank God for people with grace, because I don't know. Maybe you would have I was nice. I was kind of fun, but still, I didn't have the boundaries. I didn't have, right? And I was very insecure and blah. But then I look back at people who gave such grace to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I would have given that same grace to me. So that's a kind of a thing I want to live with more grace. Yeah. It's really hard though when people make you angry and you're like,
That's true. And this is what I end up saying too, is the fact is that I keep my circle very small, and I'm very tedious researchy, diagnosis type of who I select to come in. I
Yeah.
really we gotta literally be on the same alignment and headed in the same direction, or you either already did. Like, it just have to be meeting somewhere, because I don't know, it's just like before, the old me was like, oh my gosh, it's so sweet, and then those was the ones you thought was sweet, they'd be like, you probably have to hurt, because they were just showing you a representative that's not who they really were. And then it's like, I see. And it's so crazy that you also say a law of attraction, because, oh, yo, they is so funny, I swear. I swear. And I know the law of attraction, because my sister in here, the one who just put the comment, she ended up basically saying also, that's her guidelines, what she follows by. And I don't know, I just been hearing, like, even when me and her got connected, I was a little bit before me and her got connected, I just been hearing a lot about the law of attraction. My son, probably 3 to 5 years ago, he was big on it too. He still is big on it too. And I remember he was hounding me about, Ma, you gotta get these books for me, this law of attraction, da 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 da. And I'm like, what is these things that you hounding me about? So of course it was the law of attraction and 2 other books, and I got him, sent it to him in college, and I'm like, okay, thank God I ain't gotta hear about these books again. But then after he read it, he was like, Ma, you gotta read these books. He was like, you don't understand. So when I did read it, it really ended up putting me in a different perspective of things, in regards of, that's why I had to start cleaning out. I had to clean out my phone, people in my phone, people in my life, people in my circle. I was not caring about just like cutting people off, because I really truly believe that there's a reason, season, in a lifetime, that everybody is in your life for a reason, season, in a lifetime. And when those seasons are up, people are up. But you know your lifetimers. You know your lifetimers. So, but have you experienced that where you had to actually, delete, clean out your phone, clean out your friendships, your environment, and people you had to let go?
Yes, but I never really knew what was going on, and I didn't know how to handle it properly. So, I mean, some friendships just kind of fade. You're like, okay, they're moving on. And I'm moving on and whatever. But I mean, I had one that was a roommate of mine. We were friends first, which is always, they say that's a bad idea, friends moving in together, right? And
I never want nobody to live with me ever in their life.
she I mean, she went through some hard stuff, and so, but she kind of reverted back to like a childlike state, and she acted like a teenager. And I was starting to learn more about personal development, and I was going to therapy, and I was like, okay, I didn't really understand it, but I was like, there's something I don't like being around her. But it was hard to talk to her. She was kind of manipulative, so I never really knew what was going on. And so I kind of just stopped hanging out as much, and then she would freak out at things, and then I would freak out at her. So it just ended really badly, and I'm like, I could have handled it better. But I mean, it happens. But yeah, I mean, you kind of just leave people behind, because you're like, I don't need your toxicity, your behavior problems, your attitude. Like, I just can't. And I know people have done that to me. I would see it, and I was like, those people are much more mature than me, and they handle things better, and they don't really want to hang out as much. What's going on? And then you kind of get it.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna sit there and say that I've been put all together the way I've been put together now as today. I know that probably people had exit, it was like, I ain't fucking with you. Like, and it was okay, because my thing is what I look at that as, you feel like you don't want to fuck with me, that helps me eliminate a lot of work that I gotta do.
Yeah.
It really does, because now you done the job for me. But like I said, but I know that in probably times that I probably was like a bitch and people ain't want to fuck with me. But at the same time, I also probably question like, okay, what is it? And because you think about it, you be like, did I do something? Did I didn't do nothing? Did I was supposed to say something? I ain't say nothing right. And my thing is, if I'm in a friendship, sisterhood, ship, anything, and then if I gotta do all that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And
Mm-hmm.
this is what made me be so very vocal and very communicative with my friends, family, sisters, everybody, because I don't want to second guess and question what you thinking, how you feeling, and what's going on with you. So we're gonna just spit it out. Like, let's talk about it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We could talk about it because
Yeah.
I don't want to have to. I'm not God. I'm not about to second guess. I'm not about to assume. Not about to play Monopoly. Can't go past. This can't collect $4 or $5. I'm not doing all that. I need for us to be very communicative people, and we need to communicate on what's going on and just tell me what it is, because that's how I'm going to get it out. Because again, I can't hold stuff in. I can't hold stuff in, meaning that if I need to speak to you about stuff or anything, and if something is affecting me, I can't just sit there and let it stay and fester in me. It will bother me. It will really bother me to the fact that I will drift off from you. You'll see me pulling back. Some people may recognize it. Some people may not. You'll see me pulling back, and you'll see me closing the windows of the curtains like the Broadway show is over. The curtains have came down. So, but yeah, so in regards to that, of just basically the toxic environments, what advice can you basically give people who may be experiencing or don't recognize they're experiencing toxic environments or in toxic relationships, or even living in a toxic area? And again, people, don't live with people. I'm sorry. If it ain't your husband or your wife, I'm sorry, I just can't. Because you know what? I think me having roommates put such a bad taste in my mouth of just living with
Yeah.
someone.
Oh, don't live with roommates. No, I shouldn't say that. Some are great, but you never know what you're going to get.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
sometimes they're really dirty.
I haven't, it's one good one yet. So I'm never going to, so don't, I can't even say that because I'm not going to try to until nothing. I'm too grown. So, but, no. But yeah, so what advice can you basically give those in regards of that's maybe experiencing or don't even recognize that they're in a situation or living in a home that's toxic?
That's a great question. Honestly, I would say you kind of know. So listen to your intuition, and men have it too. Because you do feel, if you're not, okay, I guess it's, do you feel safe? And
Mm,
not just like physically safe, but for example, I know people who, when their spouse comes home, they tense up and they're like,
woo,
oh my gosh, I gotta, is everything in perfect order? I don't know, you don't feel like you can be yourself. Are they going to be angry with me about something? Can we talk like a normal, like have a great conversation without it being blaming and shaming? And so I grew up in a very judgmental kind of environment. And I never really felt with certain people, I didn't feel safe sharing things. So I would keep things. And then I was like shamed for like, well, why don't you tell so-and-so what's going on? And I didn't know. But now I
mm-hmm.
know because I was trying to protect myself. And I did date a guy who was very toxic. He was abusive, like emotionally abusive. And I was in love with him. Ew.
Mm,
Now I'm like, ew. But
yeah,
at the time, my friends were like, okay, he's not treating you well. I was like, no, 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 he's not always like that. But I didn't always feel safe. Like, what is he going to say to me today? Is he going to be in a good mood where he's treating me like a queen, which was great? Or is he going to be in a mood where he's pointing out all my flaws, telling me how like fat I am, how this and that?
yeah.
And I would go like I was in school at the time. It was just like the worst because I couldn't go to class. I was emotionally just messed up. And so it was like, that's not healthy. So, but I kind of knew. I knew that that was not good. But I think it's also about believing in yourself because I didn't think I could do better. I didn't think I was worthy. So I think that also plays a part when people you kind of get in those situations because you don't think that you'll find anything better. You don't think you deserve someone who treats you well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you listen to that voice because it's there. It might be small, but if there's anything that you're just like, oh, I tense up. Oh, I get anxious. Oh, this person makes me nervous. There's obviously something going on there.
Absolutely. I definitely agree 1000% with you. If I could say to anybody who's either in a toxic relationship or situation, or even in a home or a place, and you even stated where you say that some people will come home and they spouse will come home and they tense up. Now you in a situation where a person you live with, that's supposed to be your partner, that's your spouse, you tense up and you cringe, you need to really analyze that. You really need to think twice about that. You got to think if it's something internally going on with you, or is it that person, and you need to change that. Because I feel like one thing, your home should be your sacred peace. It should be kingdom. It should be a place where you be able to release, reset, relate, and let go, and not caring what's going on outside your doors until you have to, go out there to face it. But definitely take a look at that. Take a look at yourself. Question that. I'm sorry. We need to start questioning more about things. We as people, especially if you wanted to protect your peace, your mental, your emotional, your state of mind, what's going on, you need to really protect that. And I will also say, even if you're not recognizing, if you not recognize it and you don't see it, or even if you don't even know that you're in it, I'm telling you, you have to, like you even said, Stephanie, the intuition is there and was planted and built in us for a reason. And we have to start tapping in and paying attention and forgetting the fact of that, oh, I know that something don't feel right, but I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm going to think because I can either change it, it's going to fix itself or work itself out or get better, or all that crazy excuses that you said, or this whole thing that everybody created, the red flag. It's not no red flag. It's your intuition that's telling you something wrong, and you need to, and you need to check it, acknowledge it. If it ain't right, go. That's what it basically is. But I always say, basically, you have to teach people how to treat you, show people how to treat you. And if they are not willing to do that and stand by those guidelines, they are not for you.
Exactly.
So listen.
And believe that you can do better. Like if this is a romantic relationship, you can do better. Mm-hmm. Like that person doesn't have to be like, you know what I mean?
Yes, your gut is speaking. And yes, your intuition, your female intuition, and Stephanie just told me I guess men have it too, but
I assume so. I don't think but they've got to, right? It's got to be a human thing.
Yeah, I would think so, but we always try to like categorize everything. It's the females. So, but if just the human intuition, if it kicks in, just listen to it. If your gut is knocking harder than normal, just pay attention, get in tune with it, see why, open your eyes and your ears and just start being very observant of how people treat you, how people talk to you, how people just around you, because you don't have to have people in your space that's not bringing you no goodness. You not have to have people sitting there cluttering up any spot in your world just because. No. Who said that? You remember, and this is my old metaphor that I always go at. You are the ruler of your environment. So rule that shit. That's it. So, but Stephanie, this has been such a great conversation. I appreciate you for coming through and
thank you,
chopping it up with me as normal as always. And anytime you're ready for the pillow talk with the tea queen to come through, just holler.
For sure.
Just holler at me and I'll be ready and always prepared to, just to, chop it up with you on your platform. And so just let the people know what you have going on, what you have coming out, what you may have out already, and what you have coming.
First of all, I want to apologize for the beginning when I didn't know we were on the phone. I was like, wow, how does this work? I'm old, so I'm still getting used to these things. Yeah, so my podcast is called Stuff Up Podcast. We talk about, I don't know, different things. My favorite are personal development, social issues, mental health, and religion, which is kind of fun to talk about. I did not bring it right here with me, but I just wrote a children's book called What Should Dragon Do? And it's actually teaching children. So it's based on roommates. But it's certain situations, like the little things that bother us when we live with people. And if Dragon gets really angry and like, rah, 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 you know, and has these negative reactions. And then it kind of asks the kids, what should the response have been? So it's kind of interactive that way. So you can find that on my website, stephanieannwebb.com. And then my podcast, you can find anywhere you listen to podcasts. But yeah, you and I should definitely talk. That will be super fun because you're great and you have a lot of wonderful, insightful things to say. So thank you.
Appreciate that. And absolutely, like I say, anytime when you're ready, I'm ready to, you know, I'm ready.
You're ready.
I'm ready. Listen, I always say I'm ready, so I never have to get ready. So I stay ready. So
that's awesome.
And definitely, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys go follow Stephanie and listen. If you guys love to read, have kids that love to read, make sure you click on the link in her bio at her website and be able to purchase her amazing children's book. What it says, What Should Dragon Do, right?
Yep.
That is,
thank you.
I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. And the pictures, I got the illustrator, like they're very visually appealing, especially for children, because they're bright colors and just, you know, they're very cute. I was like, oh, that's so adorable.
Aww. So yeah, so in regards to that, you guys make sure you go follow her. Anybody that watch replay, that's in on the live, came in and out. I definitely by rocking it with your girl all day. You guys already know girl Kwamia. But for those that do not know how to pronounce my name, Duqua or either. And of course, you guys know that I'm always booked and busy. So of course, I have to write down some things so I won't forget. So knowing the fact that today is Friday, it's gonna be a great relaxing weekend for your girl, because your girl always want to go. But next week, I do have Monday, October 25th at 8 p.m. I do have that amazing collaboration with Q for the Q Spot podcast. Thursday, I'm back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we always are on live on Instagram, with my amazing cousin, who is a YouTube blogger. Lemire Perry will be here with me on Thursday. Friday, I have Erica with the C. She will be here as well. And then Saturday, I have 2 shows on Saturday. Oh my God. So
busy.
yeah, so Saturday, actually at 7 p.m., I am basically interviewing a local rapper called Mazi Bagadi. At 8 p.m., I think it's 8 or 9. Got to double check. I am collaborating with the Lipstick Laundry podcast. You guys end up just checking that out. I will be putting on my page so you guys know who will be coming through and just chopping it up with us. And as we always, we need to talk about some deep, candid, uncomfortable conversation, unguarded, but no judgment zone. And just pulling the rug from your feet to let you know that we have to keep it real and honest. And sometimes it may be uncomfortable, but it's okay. That's where the healing begins. So thank you again, Stephanie, for coming through. I appreciate you so much. You guys go follow her, support her. Support is definitely free. So and then go also get her book. I'm telling you, go get her book and definitely also follow her we have coming up and continue to support her. Anybody from Stephanie page, continue to support your girl, Pillow Talk. And also put the notifications on for both of us. So when we pop up live, you never know what we're going to give you. So,
thank you.
No problem. You're welcome so much. Thanks. You have a great night. And you guys have an amazing weekend. Later.
Bye.